Sunday morning. Awfully quiet here in the sleepy little college town of Chapel Hill. It's spring break. And those left on the hill will most certainly be here, where they'll be a part of perhaps the most intense rivalry in college basketball.
In 1990, we beat them 2 times and lost none, but they went on to the Final Four. We didn't. Which would you rather be? So we do put it in perspective. It's one. Sure, we'd like to win it, but it isn't like we don't. We're failures.
We beat North Carolina and everything's okay. Well, no, it's not okay. I mean, we've won a national championship 3.5 weeks after, or 4 weeks after we got beat by 22 points against North Carolina. So I'd rather have won the national championship than to beat North Carolina. So I'd rather do both.
Welcome to Pizza Hut College Basketball. The sold-out Dean Dome in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The top-ranked Tar Heels play their arch rivals, the Duke Blue Devils. Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Musburger. Duke and North Carolina, it has become the top rivalry in college basketball. Right now, the Tar Heels are sitting on #1 and a top seed in the NCAA tournament. But consider, if Duke sweeps the regular season with an upset win and then goes on to capture the ACC tournament, well, Jim Valvano, who knows, maybe the Blue Devils will wind up at a top seed.
Hey, Brent, who cares, right? This is a neighborhood brawl. They're not thinking about the coach speak. Forget about what the players say. This game is about 2 schools 8 miles apart that compete in everything. Who has a better medical school? Who has a better business school? Who has a better school of journalism? Who has a better basketball team? And have I mentioned, they're only 8 miles apart.
You know, Jimmy, this is the toughest ticket in North Carolina. In fact, it is harder to get a ticket for this game here today than at any time since the building opened. They're selling outside at a scalper's price of $200 a copy.
ABC Sports Raycom telecast is being brought to you by Pizza Hut, who reminds you that anytime's a great time to stop and smell the pizza. By Buick and your local Buick dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Duke and North Carolina. And Julie Moran, it doesn't get any better than this.
It certainly doesn't, Brent. And Bobby Hurley has done it all. 2 national championships, an NCAA assist record, but he has not played well in the Dean Dome. Of course, all of that could change today, but in the past, he's had half as many assists, twice as many turnovers. In fact, he told us his first game here was his worst. He had 1 assist. Why hasn't he played well here? Well, one of his answers to that question might surprise you.
When I was growing up, I was, pretty much a UNC fan. I really loved the teams that they had and Michael Jordan, all the great players. And I thought Dean Smith was an excellent coach. And those, so they were, my boyhood. That was my team when I was growing up. But, I kind of switched from that.
So here is Hurley, his final game of the regular season. And the starting lineups, you'll note a big difference with the Tar Heels on the right. The 5 seniors will start for Dean Smith here today.
That's why he's such a better person than I was. I couldn't do it in this big a game. I couldn't have Stevenson and Cherry in there. Nothing against those kids, but holy cow, this is such a big game. How long will they stay in?
Mike Krzyzewski hopes they stay in a long time. There is Dean Smith, seated alongside Bill Guthridge, his longtime assistant coach. He's put together one of the greatest programs in the history of this sport here in Chapel Hill. Duke today is without Grant Hill. 6th straight game missing because of an injury, expected back for the ACC tournament. And the tap, the Hurley against Lynch goes out of bounds. And there is Grant Hill in civilian clothes. He practiced Friday, and Coach Krzyzewski told us that he did not recover well. And so he gave him some more time off.
He's starting in the zone, which is going to give a three-point shot, most likely. Looks ready to inside-out move. But a smart thing to do with 5 guys who haven't played very often together.
Collins. All-time assist leader. NCAA history goes to Collins for the 3, and Duke with first blood.
And that's the problem with it. That's you just know that's going to happen. You go zone with 5 guys who haven't played together, getting up to 3.
George Lynch, their veteran warrior, underrated player.
That's who I'd get the ball to with this squad. Get him low, trying to get him the ball.
On to Winstrom, double teamed on the floor, and Duke going for it. It's tied up, Carolina's possession.
Substitutions coming fast. I thought the 18-minute mark. Now here's going to be a key matchup. Bobby Hurley says he hasn't played well here. Well, one of the reasons maybe recently is this kid here, Derek Phelps. He's probably the best defensive player on the basketball. So when Hurley does so well, penetrate, Phelps stops. It'll be an interesting matchup for all afternoon.
Phelps ships baseline with the pass. Roller drew the foul.
We also saw Brent there, one of the things that Carolina doesn't do well. You notice they would not take the outside shot. Phelps wide open twice, 3 times. They are amazing. Dean Smith this year, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, he's already in the Hall of Fame. He's done his best coaching job ever. Because this team doesn't shoot the ball past 4 feet. And they're still the #1 in the country.
So Henrik Rodel, who is a member of the German national team, playing in the Barcelona Olympics, attended high school here in Chapel Hill, married his high school sweetheart, plans to go over to the European League and take a shot following graduation from North Carolina. That's just Thomas Hill, Yankee down the missed free throw, almost stolen. It is.
Duke in its familiar man-to-man, Carolina in its motion game.
This is Cherry.
Oh, that's great to see. Oh, not only for his parents, but for Cherry, for the whole place. And then Duke turns it over against full court pressure. Oh, nice baseline drive, pull up, lean in, and banks it. Nice move by Scott Cherry.
Being congratulated by his coaches and teammates as he leaves, and Eric Montross now out there along with Reese, Phelps, Lynch. And so the Tar Heels go back to their starters.
Mike Krzyzewski has just asked that they just set up so they can get their man-to-man matchups. The crowd's getting on. He wasn't yelling at Lenny Wirtz. He just wants just get center so they can match up. So you know who you're guarding. Wow, what an environment here today, Brandon. You'll get to the first round NCAA play. Nothing like this. You play all over American arenas with crowds that are not really rooting either way.
Duke's tenacious, tough man-to-man defense, keeping Carolina at the perimeter now. Donald Williams with the jump shot.
Again, Donald Williams took a shot, which is about at the foul line. He is one of 2 players who will take the downtown shot. Williams and Henrik Rodel. Probably the only 2 guys who will take 3-point shots.
Now Phelps hounding Hurley. Montross ready to double on Hill. And another turnover is forced by the Tar Heels. That is the 3rd Duke turnover in the early going.
Very uncharacteristic of a veteran basketball team. Julian Reese is just getting more and more confident offensively.
They go to trap Collins, and he gets it to Lang. Now it's Hurley on the penetration. And Phelps did a good job on Thomas Hill. Lang comes inside. No foul. Cherokee Parks on the follow-up.
That's by Cherokee Park. Montross wide open that time.
Against the double team, he is fouled.
May be very loose refereeing, Riccoli. I mean, we had a lot of contact on the play down with Parks. Got his dunk, and at that time, Montross laid out, I believe, Chris Collins.
Hurley said this morning, it'll be a war out there. It always is.
Eric Montross shooting 67%. In fact, North Carolina, characteristically one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country this year, he's only shooting at least 69% from the line. That's their third miss already today. That's why they've done such a remarkable job. They're not shooting well from the perimeter. They're not shooting great from the line. But what they are doing is playing great defense.
Another miss at the line. Hill in a foot race and stepped out of bounds. Carolina ball.
And they're out rebounding their opponents by 10 boards a game. So they play great defense. They get on the glass, get in close shots. Hence, number one in the country.
Montross gets his own miss and puts it in.
Boy, has he become a force, Brent. I mean, he's just played great this year. Just a great center.
Hurley gets inside. Now he has to get it back out to Collins, who penetrates, scoops it in. Would have been good if it had gone. He'll come up to the line.
That was on George Lynch, his first team foul.
Mentioned Montross just doing such a good job inside. He misses a shot. He follows. He certainly clears the way, though, doesn't he, Brent? Wow. He's just gotten better from the first day he stepped on campus there.
So Doug Collins' son, it's his first free throw. One of the things that's happened with the injury to Grant Hill is that several of the subs on the Duke team have had an opportunity to mature, and they are much better players. Not that Duke wouldn't be a better team without Grant Hill. That's not what I'm saying. But there are youngsters like Chris here, and they've made the most of their opportunity.
But maybe a better team to win their third national championship with getting all this experience. So when they start that run, if you know they're going to be right there, all of a sudden you've got guys who've had great quality minutes. Wow, Duke going through. Now, not a bad move. This is something Duke doesn't do often, but what does Carolina, their weakness? Outside shot. Watch Williams. You got to stay in touch with Donald Williams. Excellent defensive move.
Another Duke turnover. That is number 4 here in the early going. So Carolina leading 8-6. We are back, and Duke has won 5 of the last 7 meetings against the Tar Heels. Jimmy, you seem very determined here.
Well, I'll tell you, look at this. Very uncharacteristic for Duke, but they know Carolina doesn't shoot well, so they go in a 2-3 zone. But watch how concerned they are with Donald Williams. Wherever he goes, all eyes are on Williams. Watch this. There's a 2-3. They're pointing at. There he goes. And Chris Collins is going to say, watch him, I'm pointing at him, there it is. But look at this nice back screen. Carolina sets on Cherokee Parks looking for the lob here, but the pass just not high enough. And what do we get? A turnover. And that's because, I'll tell you, Duke, I think, a little surprised a little bit in the zone. I'll be interested to see how long they stay with it.
Tar Heels lead it by 2. 15:50 to go in the first half.
Duke's back to man-to-man, Brent. You know why coaches do that sometimes? Because you figure Mike Krzyzewski figures Dean is now going over what he wants to do against the zone. Then you come out and you're not playing it anymore.
This is Williams.
The 3. He can do that. He's their best outside shooter. He can fill it up.
Hurley and Hill scoreless so far for the Blue Devils.
And give Phelps a lot of credit. Again, stopping that penetration.
He's keeping Hurley way outside. Look how far away from the basket Duke still is.
Yeah, and Hurley doesn't have the ball either. That's the other thing. He doesn't have it.
Now, Hill steps in, misfires, and an offensive rebound for Chris Collins. Cherokee takes it down to Hurley. Williams is on the switch on Hurley, and the shot clock is down to 3. Hill penetrates against it, and with 1 second left, Thomas Hill's first field goal of the game. Montross in behind Parks.
It's so strong around the basket, Carolina. Wow. And watch this matchup again of Phelps and Hurley. Montross again, he's being fronted, but you see when you're fronted that high away from the basket, you can throw a lob pass on a vertical line. As long as it's not lobbed from the side, no weak side help. Excellent pass.
And you see Marty Clark, who was checked in for Duke. The Blue Devils are 3 of 5 from the field. Carolina 6 of 7.
And Hurley does not have the basket.
Hurley in the corner, takes the 3, and it rattles out. Clark knocked it out of Lynch's hand. Tar Heels ball. So Derek Phelps has accepted the challenge of taking on the all-time assist leader.
Going inside. One play is to get it inside to Montross.
Oh, Williams again. That's 2, and a total of 8 points for Donald Williams.
Young man from Garner, North Carolina. If North Carolina can get us inside and its outside game clicking, wow, they are #1 in the country. There's no team better.
Taken away from Lang by Lynch. That's the 5th Duke turnover. It's Williams again. His 3rd 3. Stays with it. This is the 3. Carolina's ball. It's Reese.
Derek Phelps is spectacular on the basketball court. Just spectacular guarding the basketball.
It's Williams. Montross trying to keep it alive. Phelps had it taken away by Henderson. I think I said Henderson. I meant Hill. Remember Henderson out here in a Blue Devil uniform for so long. Lost and out of bounds, Tar Heels. A tough start for Coach Krzyzewski and the Blue Devils.
They're a little flustered, and you don't usually see Duke that way, no matter where they're playing. Certainly, they're a veteran team on the road. They usually play very well. This environment, though, it's senior day. I mean, it's the last home game. The place is going nuts. Let's go down low to Montross if they can.
Roto checked back in. Sullivan seeing his first action. This is Phelps back to Roto.
They want to take advantage, Carolina, of that matchup of Meek on Eric Montross.
The 3 from Phelps misfires over everything and into Blakeney's hands, out to Hurley. Nothing easy. Roto was back, and here is Clark. Crowd wanted traveling.
Oh, that was a
Hurley
charge.
penetrates, gets it back to Blakeney. The 3 not there. Phelps for the rebound.
Wow, the rest are really letting the game go.
Out of bounds on the turnover. Duke ball.
A lot of physical play out there, Brent.
And a lot of very good play by the Tar Heels of North Carolina. They lead it 19 days with timeout. Well, Jimmy, North Carolina shooting 73 and holding Duke to 38%.
Speaking of holding, we got some hand-to-hand combat here. Look at this. Boom. There's right there. Marty Clark. That's foul number 1. All right, now watch this. Now the ball's going to come out. Bobby Hurley. He penetrates. Bam. We got right there foul number 2. But not to be outdone. Right after this shot, watch Montross. Oh, look at this. He and Meek right over there. There's foul number 3. Way to go, refs. Let him play.
So Duke gets the ball inbound now to Hurley against this Carolina pressure. He has disrupted the Blue Devils' attack here in the early going.
Duke's not getting a real good look at the basket. The pressure's so good on the ball. Just not getting a good look.
Get it to Blakeney from Hurley.
Penetration number 1. You let Hurley penetrate, you're going to give up 2 points. The first time he was able to penetrate today.
That'll be the Tar Heels passing game. Certainly one of the more unselfish teams in college basketball, aren't they?
Wow.
Phelps, for one of the rare times, comes down the floor and fires.
Why? Why? He threw an air ball last time, and they're going inside well.
Blakeney off the fake, got into the inside. Now it's Hurley, short on the 3, into Sullivan. He's got Phelps open. Hurley's back. And Hurley comes away with a nifty steal.
And now Carolina getting a little sloppy with the basketball. Here it is. Here's the matchup. Watch Phelps. Look, he jukes at him, back and forth. Look at that. Boy, I'd hate to have to go against him. Then you get a double team. And a steal.
A steal by Sullivan. Racing Lang, left hand rejection by Lang. Phelps comes back, doubled, ships inside. Sullivan out of bounds, Carolina ball.
When Williams not in the game, Don Williams, that is, Carolina does not have that outside threat.
And Jimmy, he returns, and we get a reminder of tonight's Stay with ABC. Life Goes On. And then the premiere of the new ABC News magazine, Day 1 with Forrest Sawyer, and finally the Sunday night movie, that classic of Oliver Stone, Platoon, all tonight on ABC. Turnover by the Tar Heels. That's their 4th. Duke's ball, trailing it by 9. Big fella Meek sent it back court to help out, and now Clark will bring it. Clark, Blakeney, Hurley, Meek, and Cherokee Parks on the floor for Duke.
Now you have a much better matchup for Hurley. Get him the basketball. He's got Donald Williams on. Bam. Very good job, Duke, recognizing it. No longer Phelps guarded him. Get him the basketball.
So his first 2 of the day. Lynch on a run. Rolls out and hustle, rebound, and puts it back.
Right here, Williams, this is a challenge that I'm not sure Don Williams can handle defensively. Bobby Hurley.
Parks is cut off at the baseline, comes up over the top, and Meek up over the top with the foul.
Oh, finally called one. I mean, his body's strewn here.
Montross returns for the Tar Heels.
Carolina's been holding its opponents to 41% shooting and only 68 points a game, and they're certainly doing a great job defensively today.
Reese spinning and Blakeney right with him. This is Roto, who's in with Montross. Sullivan now handling the ball. Down away from the ball, Meek is called for the personal.
Good idea. This trying to take advantage of this Meek-Montross matchup. Look at Montross work. It's spinning and moving. And up there's the hole with the left hand. But still, that call compared to some of the other things that are going on is kind of surprising.
High lob, Montross.
Carolina usually has a set play when they come when they bring the ball in bounds under their own basket. They've got some great plays. That's just one of them. Look at the defense there.
Williams staying right with Hurley. Gets it to Blakeney at baseline, and the personal is called against the Tar Heels. Sullivan. pace, both coaches using their bench. Lang returns for the Blue Devils, along with Hill, Collins, Parks. Hurley will take the ball out of bounds. Now Phelps checks in, and Rodel will sit back down. Collins doubled, gave up his dribble, gets it back to Hill.
Once again, Hurley can't turn the corner on Phelps. Now there's a different matchup, and look, and he goes by.
And drew the foul.
Matchups. I think it's, you know, the NBA always talks about matchups, but it's so critical in college ball today because so much man-to-man is being played. And you see here, when Phelps checks Hurley, he goes east-west. When he's being checked by someone else, he goes north-south.
That was the first personal on Montross, and Hill hits his second field goal of the game. Get it to Montross. There's Reese on top, and Williams here. Open man is Reese.
Beautiful pass. They're running their offense, North Carolina, so well. They have that offense, the passing game. Ball goes from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor. Inside, outside. Everybody handles it. No dribbling.
Collins. This is the three. Phelps rebounds. Montross goes hard to the floor. The high pass swatted away beautifully by Collins, and this is Hill, and he turned it over. Double dribble. That is number 8. So Carolina's defense forces Duke to turn it over 8 times, and it's 25-14 the Tar Heels. Duke has turned it over 8 times, and Carolina has scored 12 points off of that, Jimmy.
And they're running a great half-court offense. Right here, you're going to see Donald Williams puts it on the floor, and now when he picks it up, watch this. The ball does not touch the floor. 1 pass, 2 passes. Okay, now we make a cut across the lane. 3 passes. Looking down low. 4 passes. Stop it right there. Now you see 4 passes, and they've got this set up right here. 2 players, and we're going to have a baseline cut right there, and a great pass from the top. Right, 4 passes out of it. There it is. Bam. Turkey Parks lost the man. 5 passes without a dribble and a layup. That is great half-court execution.
Jimmy, while you were doing that, Dean Smith was at midcourt along with Mike Krzyzewski, and the 2 coaches were huddling with the 3 officials. Now there are just 2 refs over there with them. Lenny Wirtz on the right-hand side working this game with Steve Gordon and Larry Rose. And there have been some bodies sent flying.
I wonder if that's what they were talking about, the physical nature of the game.
Could be a black and blue march for these 2 teams. Williams short on the 3, has 11 points already into Hurley's hands. Miss a 3 and you get the long rebound, don't you? Parks out high, open for the shot, and buries his second field goal of the game.
Constantly
running Montross down to the low block.
That's right. Constantly giving you that pressure at Montross on the low blocks. Constantly.
And Montross stayed moving, Jimmy, until they got the ball.
Every time down the court, there he is down on the low blocks.
Gets it, backing and in. And Lang yanks down the miss, and here is Hurley, and you get the feeling that Duke is settling down. Free throw line, ships it back to Hurley for the 3. Would have been a big moment, but Lang is left alone, and he draws the foul from Williams. Jimmy, the game is taking on a little bit different look right now.
Well, Duke is settling down, as you mentioned, its half-court offense, getting a little bit more ball movement. Carolina doesn't allow you to pass the ball from one side of the floor to the other. They overplay everything. This time down, maybe the pace of the game. Guys getting a little tired. I see a lot of guys holding their shorts. They're able to get the ball more from one side of the floor to the other.
That's at halftime. We'll have a tournament recap. Looking ahead to the final of the Foot Locker Slam Fest in the second game of the doubleheader here today.
This wouldn't be a bad time for Duke, although they don't play that much zone. But not a bad time to take a peek at it again. They got a steal last time. Just stay with Williams. Watch Donald Williams. They're back in at man-to-man.
That's Lynch backing it on line with the turnaround.
It's so big, Carolina. The players are really big. Lynch is big. Montross is big. The guards are big. So they post you down low. The low blocks, they're tough. I'd like to see somebody playing zone for an extended period of time.
Doubling Hill, who keeps the dribble. Sends it across to Hurley, who ships to Chris Collins. The three.
Collins having a nice game.
7 points, 2 threes.
When you look up, it's a 6-point game. Duke's really not played that well. Carolina's played very, very well.
Phelps dribbles beautifully. That's his first field goal of the game.
Other than shooting the ball, he's played perfectly at the point guard this year for Dean Smith. Defensively, setting up the offense. He's really done everything. Penetration, just doesn't shoot the ball out.
Now it's Hurley coming the baseline, and he hits Parks. Beautiful play. Score the field goal and a foul. One of the things you can say about Bobby Hurley, he'll stay with it until he finds a way. He is an amazing college basketball player.
What a competitor. There he goes baseline, avoids the charge. Parks, who's playing very well. Again, this would be a time that I'd take a look at possibly going zone. It's 29-23, especially make this bucket 5-point game and stay in touch with Williams.
That's 7 for Cherokee Parks now, Jimmy.
Let's see if anybody's listening to me at all today.
I'm listening to you.
I meant on the Let's take a look. Nope. Wait a second. Wait a second. What do you see here?
There it is.
All right. I like that call. I really like this call. Now you got to watch the lobs, but stay in touch. The only shooter inside.
Send it to Lynch. Missed. Salvadori keeps it alive at the Carolina end and scores the field goal.
Still a good move. Still a good move. Going zone at that point. Coach K made a good call.
Parks helping Hurley out. He brings it up. Pass to Lang, who's fouled by Lynch. That's the second on George Lynch. Lynch probably through the years, Jimmy, has been an underrated player in this league.
Because he's been so consistent, Frank. Not spectacular, but consistent. Consistent rebound on the basketball, leading rebounding team. Consistent scoring. In fact, I should check my notes quick. I think he's got 1,500 points, 900 rebounds. A lot of work.
Into Hurley's hands.
This is, again, look at this pressure out front.
Penetrates, throws it up, almost went in. Into Lynch's hands. Now the Tar Heels come back down. This is Phelps. Glides inside for the deuce.
Looks like he's hurt a little bit, though, Phelps. He's holding his side. But they're not performing as if he's hurt. Look at his arms. He uses his hands so well.
They're going to pick him off. Screen out high, and the foul is going to go against the Tar Heels here.
Yeah, that's questionable call again. They came up with their normal double team. I'd like to see that one again.
That's going to be the third foul on George Lynch. It's a big call.
Let's take a look here. There it goes. Let's go try. Unless he got him with the hands. From our angle, we couldn't see it. That is a huge foul. Wow.
And they're shooting.
Whoa.
This is 101 coming up, so this is a big turn here at the 350 mark. 33-24 and 3 personals on Lynch, who will sit down as Montross returns.
Yeah, and I still see no reason not to stay in the zone for a second time. They've been in it twice. Both times Carolina missed their shots. They did score the second time.
He missed on the front end.
Probably going to be back man-to-man.
High to Montross. No foul. Salvadori misses. Body flying everywhere. Hurley brings it down, and he hits Collins. It's Cherokee Parks. Gives it to Hurley out on top.
Wow, they letting him play.
Thomas Hills pulls the trigger, and foul call on Sullivan. Bodies went flying at the other end.
The one thing all coaches get upset with is consistency in an official. You got guys, I mean, all over the deck down one end, and here they call a touch foul on the arm. That's unbelievable. Here's Montross low. Watch the bodies here. He gets it, goes up, bam. Salvadori gets it. Boom, look at that. Oh, bodies, a lot of contact. You go down the other end, you get a touch foul. He walks the sidelines. He's getting worked over by both coaches every time he goes in front of the bench.
Thomas Hill hits the free throws, and the crowd expresses what it thinks of the officiating so far.
This ABC Sports Raycom telecast is brought to you by Heineken. Just being the best is enough. By Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers, the best hamburgers, and a whole lot more. By Pennzoil, performance, protection, and quality ever since America learned to drive. And by Fruit of the Loom, clothes for the best of your life.
It is March, and the madness has begun. This is the first of two on this Sunday. Coming up next on ABC, Kentucky, Florida, Arizona, Stanford, Kansas, Oklahoma State. A lot of teams there headed for the big show coming up in a few weeks. Mike Krzyzewski, who has won it all in each of the last two seasons. In fact, 8 of the last 12 years, the ACC tournament champion has gone to the Final Four. And, of course, Duke has won it the last 2 years. One of those years when they did not win the ACC tournament. Williams, the leading outside shooter for Carolina. Here's Phelps on the penetration. Swatted goaltending, put it down.
Great catch by Phelps, because that inside-outside pass by Salvadori was like a bullet. And Phelps, great hands.
Carolina sets up its pressure. 3 minutes to go, 35-26. The Tar Heels have led it all the way. Collins to help out at the midcourt line. Shoots the baseline, and here's Collins with the three. Got another one. That's his third here in the first half. 10 points for Chris Collins, making Papa proud today. 35-29.
I would think the Heels would want to, when he has the rock, get in his face, because his strength is not driving by it. His strength is a standstill jump shot.
The bounce to Montross, who muscles in. Good if it goes, and bring him to the line.
Muscle was the correct word, because I'll tell you, he has improved so much, his footwork and his body movement and how he gets positioned, and just his sheer size, and he's done a much better job scoring around the basket too. His touch. Woo. 20-8 in guerrilla warfare area, which is what he's been today.
Jimmy, that's one of the reasons why the Tar Heels are going to be such a factor in this year's tournament. They've got depth. They can give some fouls down on the inside block, and they're real good in there.
You're right. You know, Brent, I always felt that if you couldn't shoot the ball from the perimeter, you're not going to be able to get it done in postseason, because teams pack it back more. But Williams certainly can do it.
Yeah, I like the look in this Tar Heel team this year a little bit better than the last few clubs that they've had.
So strong. Right here, Hurley's penetrated. One time they got a basket. Clock is down. Almost 10 seconds.
Phelps has done a good job on Hurley out on top. Hill pulls the trigger. Lang couldn't get the handle, and here's Phelps. Look for the open man. It's Montross.
They're listening to you, Brent. I know that. the transition game. That particular play was all from one thing, from transition. If we get a chance, we might be able to look at it later, but it's really a terrific transition game.
It's Lang and Salvador fouled him.
This is the tail end of the transition where they get a triangle. They just get a high post guy and two guys in the low blocks, but they do that so well.
Parks, playing with 2 fouls, did not want to gamble and get the third here in the last couple of minutes of the first half, so he kind of stepped away and let Montross have the lay-in. Coming up at halftime, the Naismith nominee of the week here on ABC.
Another thing Carolina will do so well is with only a minute to play, I guarantee you, when Duke does come back with the basketball, they will not just stand there and allow you to take the last shot. If you have that opportunity, they'll pressure, they'll come after. You're going to have to make a good play.
Final minute of the opening half.
You know where the ball's going. It's going inside. That's where it's going.
Foul on Hill.
With 44 seconds to play, most clubs, they will let the one team hold it. And I guarantee you that the Heels will not permit Duke to just stand there and run the clock down. They'll come out, they'll double you, they'll run at you. They'll make you have to do something good. Not just going to get the last shot easily against.
Donald Williams checked in for the Tar Heels in case they wind up with a perimeter shot. It'll be Reese who will take it. He misses it, and now it is Lang giving off to Hurley, and it's last shot time coming up here for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, now watch this. No way. Here they come. What did I tell you? Here they come.
Trap right away, Jimmy, just like you said.
There's no way they'll let you stand there and just run it down. You're going to have to do something really good.
Inside of 20.
Here they come. Boy, you
double on Hurley.
Love that aggressive. They shouldn't leave this kid alone, though.
He penetrates against the bigger man and gave it up because of that pressure defense. Now, 2-on-1. O'Sullivan kept the handle, and Hurley picked his pocket. And Duke turns it over as time runs out on the first half anyway. A 10-point lead by the Tar Heels of North Carolina. Game over at Cameron, Duke won it 81-67. But it's been a different story in Chapel Hill so far this afternoon. Brent Musburger with Jim Valvano. It's 40-30. The top-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels leading the Blue Devils, Jimmy, by 10 points here.
Their execution, Brent, has been superlative in every aspect of the game. The half-court offense is impressive. They get the ball where they want to get it, and they shoot it well, and their defense is exemplary.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers for the first half.
Not surprisingly, I think the field goal percentage that Carolina, 18 for 31. Let me see, carry to 5. I think that's 58%. I'm not sure. But it was surprising they've only been to the line 5 times, all the physical play. But that's a lot because the referees, I think, swallowed their whistles for about 10 minutes.
How about the guard matchup of Bobby Hurley against Derek Phelps in this one?
Well, it's once again top of the show. We talked about Hurley having trouble against a team he once rooted for. And Phelps does a great job on the ball. Hurley, Duke doesn't win when Hurley scores 2 points. Doesn't happen.
Grant Hill, again, not playing, and we can take a look at some of the contact from the first half.
Whoa, some of the contact. I mean, pick him up and throw him down. That's about 270 pounds at that guy. 2-point takedown. But Montross gets his revenge. And he gets the ball down low. He really has done a great job getting position. Dr. Zero, they call him, I believe.
Yeah, he wanted 00 because he was tired of the big guys back in grammar school, always getting the numbers in the 50s. I want a fresh identity.
How about me? Because I got to pick last, too. My number in college was 41.
41.
That's like a pulling guard, isn't it? I mean, 41. You're supposed to have 11 or 12 or something. Look at the number of substitutions. How do you keep track of that?
Now listen, Dean started all his seniors.
That accounts for maybe 5 of them, but still it's about 19. There they are. Dean Smith, Bill Guthridge, 32 years coaching him. Will break Adolph Rupp's record. Wow.
Thomas Hill for Duke, missing, and Lynch yanks away the rebound.
Boy, you love to come out in the second half and get that first bucket. They were right there for it, too.
Montross goes for it. Come to the line.
I think we saw that in the first half. Gets the ball inside. Carolina's whole thing. If you're going to beat Carolina this year, you've got to stop the inside game and guard Donald Williams outside and let the other guys shoot.
That's the third personal on Cherokee Parks, and they cannot afford to lose his size against North Carolina in particular.
No, then you only have Eric Lee coming in. Remember, Lynch has 3 fouls also.
They're changing it. Hold on just a minute, Jimmy. They're making an announcement that this is going to be Thomas Hill who picked up this personal. So that is a big change as far as Duke is concerned.
Carolina's only 1 for 5 in the first half at the free throw line. Now, I would not be surprised to see them press like crazy again to get off to a good start in the second half. Come after if they score. Come after. And here they come. They're coming after. Well, you'd think I played them before. Too bad I can never beat them. Here they come. Here they come.
Pounding Collins with a little more authority this half. He hit him for 3 trays. Inside the Lang, a jump hook not there. Lynch again battles for another defensive rebound. Does all the little dirty things down on the inside.
Look at him look inside. Look at that. And what did he do so great, Fred? All Dean Smith's players, the big players do. Keep the ball up. Do not bring it down and become small. They need a bucket right now. Right, this is where Hurley usually penetrates. This is where he usually beats somebody, makes something happen. Look at Williams out on Collins. That's good. Make him drive.
Montross pounds Parks. Good ball.
Good adjustment at halftime. And there's Montross running down. Gets great position. Again, if you're going to front a man, the further away he is from the basket, when you front him, you have that great lobbing area.
Hill. Montross timed that jump perfectly.
He trapped out top and got back to the rebound. The big guy, Eric Montross, was in a double team on Hurley at midcourt and got back and got the rebound.
Now that's the third on Thomas Hill.
Here's where Mike Krzyzewski is saying, boy, we really could use Grant Hill. Carolina's depth and size just kind of wears you out.
Reese, Montross, foul. In civilian clothes for the 6th straight game after suffering that toe injury.
They've played very well, Duke has, without him, but when you come up against a squad like this, you need all the manpower you can get. They need Grant Hill. They're still going to be a better team when he comes back than the one that he played on. They're just going to be better. More players can play. I mean, look at Chris Collins. He's playing so much better. Parks, they've had to go to him a lot more.
Duke looking to get on the board here in the second half against Montross. Hurley, and Montross rejects it.
A self-fulfilling prophecy. Bobby Hurley said at the top of the show to Julie Moran, I don't play well against the Heels.
They've turned it over again. Reese leads Williams. Reese's 3 into Montross's hands again. Phelps hits Lynch at the left baseline.
What pass. What excellent pass. Ball went inside, outside, back inside, 2-point, and the Tar Heels up by 17, 47-30. And they're going nuts here at Dean Smith.
Raycom telecast is brought to you by Pizza Hut, who reminds you that anytime's a great time to stop and smell the pizza. By Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. By Hanes Men's and Boys Underwear. Just wait till we get our Hanes on you. And by Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline.
Well, Julie Moran, Duke needs help.
They certainly do. And Calvin, oddly enough, you had the same injury that Grant has when you were with the Cowboys.
That's true. He and I had the same foot. In fact, when he was born, I looked at his feet, and that's when I knew he was mine. But it's not anything that's serious. It hurts a little bit, but he'll get over it.
What are his prospects for the tournament this week? What can we expect?
Oh, I'm not a doctor, and he's in good hands with the Duke medical staff, but I would assume that he's going to play next week.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, Grant.
I love it. He went to the hospital, looked at the feet.
That's
There's my
the same feet. I looked at the wrong end when I went to identify my kid.
All right. Duke has been in trouble in this one. It's been the defensive effort by North Carolina triggering the offense, and here Duke gets an easy field goal and could not put it away. Lang could not score, comes back up with it, and Montross rejects it. It's been like that all game long. Now Reese.
After every timeout, Carolina presses as they did last time. Duke saw it, and as you mentioned, Brent, read it and got an easy shot, but didn't put it down.
Much more aggressive against Collins. Sent it on the inside, and that's another turnover. Number 12 for Duke.
As great as Carolina is in about the 30 times that I played them, they always, even with a big lead, because they keep playing, give you one opportunity to at least make a little run. I'm not sure that's going to happen today the way they're playing, but it's something to look for. If they continue this type of defense, it's not going to happen. But they make some substitutions, and you get a chance.
Reese is underneath.
They're all over the glass. Wow. Oh, two huddles. Look at that. It's like football. Duke has its huddle.
That's number 4 on Thomas Hill.
Wow. And maybe no runs today.
Well, Carolina's defense is pitching a shutout so far in the second half.
And you can't say enough about the job they've done on Bobby Hurley. I mean, his penetration has always been the key to Duke's offense, and it's just not there today.
Carolina was on a mission in this one.
Oh, it seems like it. And never play a team. Never. I hated to play teams that had hyphens in their name and teams that had a cause. You don't want to play teams with a cause. They seem to have a cause today. Look at this.
Oh, Phelps, who's been digging out rebounds all game long. He had 5 in the first half. Knocked away from Montross, and now it's Hurley going for the Duke. Drew the foul, and it was a hard one.
You knew he wasn't going to get this layup. This is the schoolyard. You don't go in and get this layup. Brian Reese from New York says, you're not supposed to lay up in not my building. Not in our blacktop is it going in. You have to take it from the line.
So Duke has been outscored 10-0 here in the second half. Played a little over 4 minutes.
Well, when you're 82% free throw shooter, 80% starts missing free throws too.
And finally.
Don't be surprised to see this ball go inside. Get Montross down low. Here it comes. Bam. There it is.
And Clark reaches in to tie up Phelps, and the foul is called on Phelps. That's his first personal of the game. He's done all of that great defensive work against Bobby Hurley, and now he commits his first personal.
Once again, the only weakness you have in Phelps is he won't take the outside shot. That time, Carolina ran a play, especially. Watch him trap it now. Whenever the ball's at turnover, Duke knows this, because I know it, but be careful for traps. Come across half court and watch out.
Now, this is a Carolina team that went down to Tallahassee and did a number on Florida State down in their building. So they are getting better and better.
I can't believe they've played any better than they're playing right now.
And Clark coming up over the top of Lynch, fouled him.
I can't imagine an effort better than this one this afternoon.
An effort like this, continued over the next month, will give Chapel Hill a national championship. This is some team right now. But there's a long way to go. That's where they play them, folks. Williams on the turnaround, snaps it in.
Can't let him shoot.
But whoever draws Carolina in the upcoming tournaments better get ready to strap it on.
I think the way the referees call the game will have a tremendous impact on how far the Tar Heels go. If you call it loosely, as they are today, hey, you're not going to beat them. You're not going to beat them. But if you call it, you know, the ticky-tack foul, and you get Montross in foul trouble, it's such a fine line. But you can't let them play. They play the way they're playing today, physical.
The only thing about that is, Jimmy, I think Dean's got the best depth I've seen this year.
There's no question.
Williams snaps another one.
He's in a zone, as they call it. He's in a zone.
Like Greg Norman. Collins open underneath. They won't make it easy, and they didn't.
But Norman couldn't do it with all this noise. There's a shutter click. They got to step back, adjust their hat, get themselves ready, give a dirty stare at somebody. I mean, I know standing over a 10-foot putt, it's got to be just brutal. I mean, the pressure and a guy makes noise 3 greens over. They step back. Why is that? My God, get some noise out there. Never affects my game. People make noise.
Salvatore replaces Montross with a draw to a nice ovation. 16 points for him, 15 for Williams. They've led the way inside, outside. Phelps' defensive effort.
Phelps is almost a 70% free throw shooter, although he only shoots 44% from the field.
One who got away from Bob Knight. Grew up in Indiana and attended Chapel Hill. Blakeney Reese all over him in that corner. How about that for a second half?
They've got no shot. Oh, nothing's gone in, I mean.
We're 5 minutes in, and all they've got is 1 free throw. And still, this is an unbelievable defensive job being done by the Heels. Duke gets it back. Looking for some entree to a field goal.
Or a shot. They can't even get a good shot up. There it is.
There it is. Meek coming down, and he rejected it. Lynch got it.
Wow, this is the most dominating defensive performance I've seen in years. It reminds me of Bob Knight's Olympic team. When I said you should give the opposition the points for getting a shot. Because nothing's going in.
0 for 10 now from the field.
Wow.
56-31. And finally, Clark nails a 3.
Man who brought the ball in bounds, always very dangerous.
5.5 minutes into the second half. Duke scores its first field goal since the intermission. Lynch regains control and is fouled. Fouls on Clark. His third person. And they're shooting 1-1. Saturday, Pro Bowlers Tour rolls in with the Baltimore Open. Then it's ABC's Wide World of Sports after that. Features some boxing for you, the Super Bantamweight Championship, and the Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race. Look at that.
That dog did not look happy.
And a blue eye. You wouldn't be happy either if they raced you across the frozen tundra. Here's Collins. He's fouled.
You're going to get that call when you're down 22 anyway. just to irritate you. Say, oh yeah, now you give me one. This kid has improved dramatically since Grant Hill's departure. Chris Collins. He gives them a really nice player off the bench.
Jimmy, it'll be interesting if Duke and Carolina reach the final of the ACC tournament next Sunday in Charlotte and play a week later.
I think they will. I think that'll happen.
Duke would have to come through Florida State and Carolina through Wake Forest if form holds into the semifinals. I think that's the way the brackets are. I don't think I'm wrong about that.
There it is.
There they are. Yeah, that's right. See, in the upper bracket, Carolina is up there. They play the winner of the Thursday night game in their opening round. That would be Wake and Carolina one semi on Saturday, then Florida State and Duke in the other. I'll tell you, I think the Seminoles will give Duke.
There's no question about that. They've got to, and they've got. Oh my goodness, this one down. Go, that's it. Get on the bus, Gus. Make a new plan, Stan. Holy cow.
It's a Tar Heel massacre at both ends of the floor. Hurley gets on the inside. And Blakeney puts it away, and he's fouled.
It's hard to forget scoring. You can't get a shot up.
We got 13:43 to go in this game, and Duke has scored only 38 points.
Look at this, trying to get Hickams Hurley, penetrate. He misses, and one of the few mistakes that Carolina's made. No block out on Blakeney.
Jimmy, does this get a team like Duke ready for the tournaments, or does it hurt them emotionally?
Oh, no. Oh, not. You have such a veteran team that's so used to success. A short shot there by the young man from Garner, and you've got a coach so used to success. You use this. I mean, you use this. You really get your kids. You get on them. I mean, for a whole week, the practices will be excellent. Excellent practices. And if you can get Grant Hill back, you then become, you get a mission. You're a team on a mission.
Into Meek's hands. That for Clark was his second three of the game just a moment ago. Early against traffic. He'll fire another one, and it's slapped in his face by Jordan Lynch, playing his last game here in Chapel Hill. What a warrior. Take that stuff out of here.
Here he is, George. Look at 1,600 points. 992 points.
Timeout. Montross sealed him up. You better believe it, number one. Somebody tell my friend Sam Cassell that the wine and cheese crowd is making like beer and pretzels there in Chapel Hill today, folks.
And they're probably going to track. Whenever the ball comes out of bounds, Carolina, well, they didn't get a chance to. Nice play by Duke. The wine and cheese crowd. Boy, you're right there. Whoa.
12:40 to go.
But as you mentioned during the break, Carolina has not executed offensively the last few times down the court.
And they've struggled at this offensive end. Rodel goes to the left hand, misfired, and man who is there is Lynch. He's eating him up on the glass here in the second half.
It's hard to come back when you give second shots.
Cherokee Parks in foul trouble, watching from the Duke bench. Missing and into Lynch's hands. Without Parks in there to contest him, he's just going to have one after another.
He's going to have his 1,000 rebounds
in one game. Here's Mark. Knocked away and fouled.
This was a recruited class that everybody predicted that would take Dean Smith back to a Final Four, maybe a national championship. I'm speaking of Montross and Phelps and Reese and Sullivan, who hasn't played quite as much today. And they lost Rozier, Trezor, Louisville, but they've really fulfilled that promise that at least the triumvirate has.
Their record of getting to the Sweet 16 is just like unbelievable.
You talk about Duke. Duke's had a great run, but during the last 7 years, Carolina also has been to the Sweet 16 in those 7 years.
The Duke has the second longest run.
Yep. If you run down some of the notes I took, regular season championships, Carolina 21 times. Right, Dean Smith has done it 12 times and tied 4 times. 26 straight postseason tournaments, 18 in a row NCAA, 23 straight 20-win seasons. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And you've seen why here today. Sullivan.
And Duke has been just as impressive. They've averaged 30 wins a year over the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Uh-oh, here we come. We're going zone, which is smart, but get on that guy. I still think this is the only way you're going to beat the Tar Heels. Well, I'd have about 27 different zones going to this game. I wouldn't know myself what we were playing.
Lang with the rebound. Might as well change up your defense about every other dribbling.
Oh, no question. I'd have a guy on Dean Smith. There's no question about that.
Somebody got to take Guthridge, too.
Yeah, somebody double-team Guthridge.
Here's the big.
Boom.
Hangs it in. That's his second field goal of the afternoon.
The zone slows them up. It's tougher to get the ball inside where they want it. You're going to have to see that. It's much tougher to get the ball where they want it. And it slows them up a little bit. Someone's going to play them without a 40-minute game of changing zones. You can't stay in the same zone. You can't do that.
Chris Collins, he's been hot. That's his 4th 3 of the game. 14 points for Duke.
And they're going to stay with that zone until Carolina figures out how to get the ball down low, because they're not going to take the outside shot. The only guy who will is number 21 right there. Get on him. Roto will also shoot it. Where they're comfortable is around the basket. See how it slows them down? Just slows them down. Now, they don't mind right now because they're up 50.
Bringing the seconds down, working away on the game clock with their healthy lead. Knocked away from Roto on the turnover. Bust out now.
13-point game. And 3 straight possessions against the zone, no points.
Timeout, Carolina. As you predicted, Jimmy, they have let Duke ease back into this. And we're going to return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, there is our second game here today on ABC. Kentucky, Florida, Arizona, Stanford, Kansas, Oklahoma State. Here, Duke on a 7-0 run in the last 2:20. And it is 64-51 in the second half now. Carolina has outscored them 24-21, so Duke's run has brought them back into it.
And now that there's been a timeout and Duke is in his zone, now you know Carolina has worked on something during this timeout, a high-low of some sort, but some way they're going to try and get the ball down low. Might be a lob, but they're going to do something to get in the scoring area they feel more comfortable.
Williams from the corner. They send it back on a cutter is Reese, and it is Lynch who couldn't put it down. Yanked away by Lang. This could suddenly become a 9-0 run here by Duke. They've battled their way back into this with 9 minutes still left in the game, so they have hung tough here. Cherokee Parks has returned. They play catch, and it's Hill's 3 that does it. Duke is back.
I've seen it so often. But now you've got to figure out this zone. Got to get Donald Williams free or work George Lynch on the baseline. Maybe get Montross back in the ball game. That would be a good move. Get the big guy back in. NIC's gone to scorer's table. Good move.
Phelps for the layup. Missing, and Lynch took it away.
Big rebound. What a big rebound.
And that, for him, is number 1,000. Rebound number 1,000, and it was a big one in this game. It put Carolina back up by 12, ended the Duke run. Parks up over the top is short. And it goes to Carolina.
Great follow by Thomas Hill, but just couldn't quite keep his balance.
Boy, Jimmy Duke was on such a hot streak. You cannot overplay the importance of that rebound by Lynch.
I really think the offense that Carolina has not played well affected the defense and Duke's confidence level. And here's the same thing. You got zone. Someone's got to shoot the ball.
Reese's shot is blocked out of bounds, Carolina.
The high post is wide open. If someone flashed the high post and just took a foul shot, I mean, it's wide open.
Montross, Hurley, 3-on-1. Hurley to Hill, and Reese stays with him. Now it'll be Collins for the 3.
They've had their chances. Duke had 2 opportunities, golden opportunities, to really cut into this one. Need someone high post. Oh, if they just stayed in the high-low post. Someone in that high post area.
Williams.
Score 3. You're going to play zone. That's rule number 1. Do not allow Williams to even touch the ball. That's why I like 1-3 to chase or a box and 1. He can't touch it. You can't get it.
Hurley. Score 3. That's his first 3-pointer of the game. Gives him 21 points for Williams at the other end. It's 69-57, 6 minutes and 25 seconds left. Now Reese. Here's Montross. And Lang takes him down hard.
Oh, called it intentional. Oh, I don't agree with that at all. Lenny, I don't agree with that's the crowd called that one, Brent. There's been a lot of hitting going on. I think he went all ball. Goes up. No, that's not it. No.
I'll tell you, though, Jimmy, the arm did come down on the
ball.
neck.
He still hit all ball.
I mean, after he caught the ball, it did come down around the neck area. It's possible that Lenny decided to do that just so emotions wouldn't flare.
Okay, well then earlier in the game, while bodies were being knocked all over the place, maybe that was the time to make some more calls. I don't like that call. See, and I was right. That's why he missed. That's the basketball.
I thought it would have been good in the World Wrestling Federation myself. Now, importantly, Carolina gets the ball out of bounds after the intentional foul.
And technical is being assessed. Lenny has taken over. The smallest guy on the court is now dominating the game.
They called it on Hurley. Well, another chapter in the North Carolina Duke rivalry, huh?
I'd say something to Lenny right now, but I don't.
You'd get a technical.
I don't want to get him. I don't want to lose myself.
Stay here. I need you. Coach telling Hurley what he thought about that call. Going to give him a little breather here with 6 minutes to go. Reese has it sent back, and Carolina wants goaltending.
Wow. That's the end of that run.
Yeah, that's it. Put it down for Reese. That's 9 points for Brian Reese today. You go back to George Lynch's work on that glass, and they won't make a big headline out of it, but you can't overplay the importance of that ending this run here by Duke, and since then it's been Carolina's game again.
So Lynch he's been spectacular in a way, as you mentioned, that you're not going to notice it, but he made all the big buckets when runs will come in, gets all those rebounds. He does it in a quiet way. He's a great player. He really is a terrific competitor.
Yeah, it's interesting. He plays a lot of big forward for Dean Smith, and you think of how much more spectacular he would have been outside on the wing. Now, I don't know what kind of a jump shot he would have developed here at Carolina, but playing down inside and doing a lot of the dirty work, we haven't seen him become very spectacular through the years.
How bad is things going for Duke? Marty Clark is an 88% free-throw shooter, and he's short.
You think the Cameron Crazies will remember this next year?
Oh, wow. As you say, just add another chapter.
Oh, man.
And as you said, they might play again. How about when I first got in the league, we had a Big Four tournament. I played Carolina 4 times a year.
Is that right?
Yeah, I played them in the Big Four early in the season, then twice during the regular season, and put them in the ACC tournament. So 4 times. You go 0-4 and lose your job real quick. I thought it was the World Series you were playing. You see Duke and Carolina playing each other 4 times a year.
William.
Terrific. He's terrific.
He scored 25 here today. Clark. 3.
3 points, Marty Clark.
No quitting the Blue Devils. I mean, the character is there. The competitiveness is there. And as I say, Mike Krzyzewski just built on that this week. He'll show this to them quite a bit.
Roto lost it. And Duke comes up with a diving after the floor for a loose ball, trailing 76-61 at the 4-minute mark. And Cherokee Parks misfired everything, but there was Lang battling away. So at the 4-minute mark, we've got a timeout.
Yeah.
Carolina in control.
See, Dean does not want, he just called timeout, but he doesn't want to take the timeout.
Dean, we've got to pay some bills. No, I'm sorry.
We run this show.
We'll be right back. The house that Dean built. And it is rocked here on this Sunday afternoon in Chapel Hill, matched against his arch rival. Interesting, he's got 2 assistants who are doing great jobs. Roy Williams at Kansas and Eddie Fogler at Vanderbilt. Jimmy B, I want to throw this out at you. The Atlanta Constitution said that if Bobby Cremins goes back to his alma mater, which is South Carolina, they listed Roy Williams as a leading candidate for the Georgia Tech job.
Well, he'd be a leading candidate for any job, so, but who is the general who said nuts? You know, there's no way. He's not leaving Kansas to go to Georgia Tech. I just can't believe it. If he leaves Kansas, it's to become the successor to Dean Smith. And boy, I wouldn't want that job.
And Dean doesn't look like he's ready to give it up, by the way.
No, he's got about 200 innings left in him.
He has enjoyed this one here this afternoon, hasn't he? Now, Jimmy, you made the point during the commercial. Tell the audience which coach has the tougher job this week prior to the ACC tournament.
I think there's no question Dean Smith's job is tougher this week than Mike Krzyzewski's. Mike's got a team that's used to winning. He has a focal point. You just got smacked. You don't want that to happen again. You want to go into the NCAA tournament up. No, so he's going to have his team really focused. Carolina, on the other hand, just became #1 in the country. They just smacked a great team. And now you got to, as a coach, bring them down. Bring them down to reality level now. You know, get them down a little bit. I think that's a lot harder because they'll start believing everything that we said today, too. I mean, we said they're the best today. I think that's a harder job.
You can watch the videotape, but you can't listen to the announcement.
Don't listen to us. Don't read the papers. And try and find something wrong with this one. It's got to be angry after a win.
Away from the ball, down on the inside, Phelps.
I look for Carolina to if this gets any closer, to go to 4 corners, run some clock.
After the game, we're going to have the Volvo post-game report. Thomas Hill rattles into Lynch's hands. That's 10 rebounds for George Lynch in this game.
On the passing game, you're going to see that ball move one side to the other. It's going to move. Backdoor cuts. Wow.
Williams, his career high, now stands at 27 points.
What a ball game he's had.
All it does really is give these two teams a split, home and home, heading to the ACC tournament, seeded 1 and 2. Marty Clark now with 12 points on the game. So March is just heating up, isn't it, folks?
Carolina gives up about 68 points a game, and right now, Duke's got 65. This is more dribbling than Coach Smith would like, unless it's 4 corners. He likes that ball to be passed. He likes you to pass it, you cut, pass it, you cut. Somebody's got to come out and help him. That's what happens when you put it on the floor a lot. And that's what happens when things are going right for you all game.
Got a piece on it. Duke's ball. Hill. Here's Hurley. Hits Clark. And then fouled it. His 4th. Jimmy, did you see that some former Duke players were in the news yesterday? Christian Laettner won a game for the Timberwolves. Did you see that?
Just like in
Shades of
college.
Kentucky.
That's right.
Hit the shot, then the free throw.
Yeah.
Billy McCaffrey, who certainly did the wise thing, I think, in transferring down to Vanderbilt. He has led the Commodores to an SEC title. And I don't know if you noticed, but Bob Ferry is upset with the handling of his son, Danny Ferry, at Cleveland by Lenny Wilkins.
That's a father-son thing, right? I don't know if GM Bob Ferry would be that upset, but when the player you're talking about happens to be your namesake, that can happen.
I never thought I'd be using those fill items.
That's good. I see it. That's good. You get that from Dick? Dick he gave you a few last week.
Dick, what do you got?
What do you got?
What's up, baby?
Give us some stuff.
Collins sends it over to Hurley. A pull-up 3 outside. Lynch got a hand on it, and it's Chris Collins. South Carolina with 1:45 to go, and Lang fouled Lynch. His last game here at the Dean Smith Center, and George Lynch with a heck of a career. If he doesn't make it in the NBA, and he might be a little bit undersized for down inside, I'll tell you what, he'll be a big-time player over in Europe.
Yeah, he'll be playing ball somewhere for the next 10 years.
Yeah, you bet. He got a lot of heart. European basketball continues to grow and grow. I don't know why you and I don't buy a franchise in Italy.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I'll get you the players and you coach it.
A couple of years ago.
And you came close, you told me.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I had an offer from a team in Italy to coach and become a part owner, as a matter of fact.
You'd have been huge.
Oh, my God. They said I could have been on a wine bottle. I mean, what else?
Can you speak Italian?
I can curse.
So Carolina, what they have done, I suppose, as well as anybody, is bring that clock down. Remember when they didn't have a shot clock in a college game, man?
Do I ever? He's going to want to get Lynch out to the ovation that he deserves. His game today is indicative of his whole career.
He's had a wonderful career. The block Meeks shot. Carolina been a dominating defensive team here this afternoon. You can't say enough about their defense.
Been the best defensive performance I've seen this year by any team.
Let's listen to this crowd in Chapel Hill, the last minute.
Look at their tears now. Threw it out of bounds. But now, not yet. They're still saving up for Lynch.
Hill double teamed over in the corner, and timeout with 47 seconds. And the crowd chanting, "We're number one," and they certainly proved it here today. I think the whole country believes that now, even some folks in Indiana and Kentucky and Arizona. The Pizza Hut delivery of this game, and he has delivered for 4 years for the Tar Heels of North Carolina. The only senior in their normal starting lineup, George Lynch, with the Pizza Hut delivery of the game. Final 47 seconds in Chapel Hill. Wonderful memories of a career here, and looking ahead to the tournament. Lang rattles one in and out. Now Hurley. And it's Winston. So Cherry and some of the other seniors now bringing it down into Collins' hands. Last 25 seconds. It'll be Hurley dumping it off. And the foul is called against Lynch. And now Lynch will leave the game. There'll be an ovation when this final round of substitutions enters the game here for the Tar Heels. Let's listen. Now Williams leads. With his career high 27 points. Lynch with 12 double-doubles. They are tournament ready.
I always think back of Brent when the only one team could go from the ACC. What that tournament would be like.
Thomas Hill. Well, the Tar Heels never enjoyed singing a song any more than this one. I don't think they ever thought it'd be this easy, Jimmy.
We certainly didn't think so. This was one of those games where you can't overcome the loss of a player like Ernie Hill. The other team has just too much talent, too much size, too much bench strength. You have to have them in this game to compete at the level that the other squads compete. And as you mentioned too, Brent, Carolina, it was not just your average team coming out here today. They had a mission. They had a cause game. Young man at the free throw line now. Hope he makes it. Knock it in. Go in. His father was our academic advisor at NC State. Wonderful man, Dr. Joe Brown.
Take another chance.
He's getting up there again.
There's a young man who's had himself a spectacular career, but he had to struggle a bit today, didn't he, against Derek Phelps, only 2 of 12 from the field. That's as good as you can do against Bobby Hurley.
And he doesn't like it here. He had 6 assists at the half. He got 6 for the game. You know he'll bounce back.
Yeah, how'd you like to draw Duke in the first game of the ACC tournament?
As I said, they're going to be, their defense in game 1 is going to be, I think, terrific. They're going to play very, very well. And it's not that they didn't play Duke basketball today. By the same token, Carolina was awesome today. I mean, it wasn't the case that Duke really wasn't playing that way.
My friend Malcolm Mackey and the rest of the Tech youngsters better get ready.
Oh, it's rattled in by Stephenson. How about that? Closes out a career here at Chapel Hill, banging in that field goal, and he's mobbed by his teammates. Mother and father are here. What a wonderful memory that is for him. That's a way to turn the lights out in Chapel Hill. 83-69 the final. North Carolina.
This 8AC Sports Raycom telecast has been brought to you by Pizza Hut, who reminds you that anytime's a great time to stop and smell the pizza. By Buick and your local Buick dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. By State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Coors Cutter non-alcoholic brew. Its genuine beer taste will fool your mouth. This is the Volvo post-game report.
So welcome back to the Volvo post-game report. The celebration is underway here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Through the years, they said this was a very unemotional setting for the college game, but that has not been the case this year. And it's a team that can't wait for the tournaments to begin. March Madness well underway in Chapel Hill already, folks. Well, Jim Valvano, we bring down the curtain on our portion of this, and it has been a wonderful run. I have really enjoyed working with you again.
So have I, Brent, and I hope this doesn't make the people at Duke too angry. I have to go to Duke Hospital tomorrow morning for treatment. And you see, I don't want them to be that upset about this. So maybe I should slide over to Chapel Hill tomorrow.
Did they have any Carolina doctors on that staff?
None that I've met so far. I always tell them I bleed NC State red, though. So I don't know.
So you'll be okay,
I should be okay.
All right. Well, when things settle down, Julie Moran will get a couple of interviews for us. But the celebration in high gear right now in Carolina. I loved it, folks. So it's 83-69. North Carolina with a big win over Duke. Some of the stars are here. Donald Williams and Jimmy Valvano. Take it away, partner. And I think that amidst all of the noise and everything, it is hard for him to hear me.
Brent, are you talking to me, Brent?
Go ahead, partner. You got it.
Hey, I'm here with 3 of the stars. The noise is unbelievable. I'm going to save the senior George Lynch to last. I want to start with the big guy. Your play has improved so much since you first stepped on campus. I think that you're one of the best centers in college basketball. Talk about how you've developed.
Well, I think that the whole team has really helped me mature more than anything. And I think that Coach Smith, with his tactics and the hard work, has just helped me tremendously.
Did you like the physical style of play today? I think it was Eric Montross' style of ball. They enjoyed that.
Well, it definitely was. And it was a time for us to really enjoy ourselves and go at it. And it's one of these contests you just never forget about.
And this guy right here next to you, Donald Williams, you went, holy cow, are you knocking him down today, huh? You had a green light from Coach Smith?
Yeah, I think I was feeling it today, and when Coach think I'm feeling he don't want me to shoot the shots, and I had a lot of good looks, so I was hitting.
You were in that zone, weren't you?
Yeah, you can say I was in the zone. I was feeling it, and it's one of those days when everything falls for you.
And you like to see zone defense too, don't you?
I love it.
Well, you played very well today. But here's a special guy, George Lynch, a senior. Maybe has not gotten all the accolades you deserve, but I've enjoyed watching you play. You've been Mr. Consistency for 4 years. Talk about this year's ball club, because today you fellas played like the #1 team in America.
Well, we played very well. Have to give Duke a lot of credit. Didn't have Grant Hill tonight, but the guys, everyone did a great job contributing and played well together. And I just did my part as a senior leader to keep the intensity up.
Well, we enjoyed watching you guys play today. You are #1. Back to Brent.
All right, Jimmy. Congratulations to the Tar Heels. The celebration continues. Julie Moran, where have you been?
Brent, in case you're wondering where I was mobbed in the middle of the arena. These guys carried me over on their shoulders, so I'm back. I'm safe. It's pandemonium here.
All right, Julie. Thank you. Let's wrap it up, folks, as North Carolina comes away with a win. That's our next game here on ABC. Kentucky, Florida, Arizona, Stanford, Kansas, Oklahoma State. And then a reminder, next Saturday on ABC, Bowling's Best will take aim at the Baltimore Open. Following that, it's ABC's Wide World of Sports. For Jim Valvano and Julie Moran, I'm Brent Musburger. So long, everybody.
This has been the Volvo post-game report. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.